Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here tonight, and we're going to start on behalf of the Board of Directors of this great organization, NHMA, the National Hispanic Health Leadership Awards Gala, the 23rd. What a great day is today. We have a lot of distinguished people, doctors, dentists. We have one right there sitting, and I'll introduce him later. And the little kids are beautiful as well. Have you seen them around? We have two right here. Bellos, bellos, hermosos. And we had another one right there running around. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great night. So today we have a great program. We're especially proud to have the company of the distinguished audience of the doctors, the dentists, and everyone in the health community. In fact, I would like to ask the students in the room to please stand up. Let's give them a great recognition. These are the future of our community, of our world. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for studying and for making this world a better place with your efforts. Thank you. Un fuerte aplauso para todos. Also joining us tonight are healthcare leaders from medical schools and dental schools, insurance and pharma companies, health organizations, and environmental leaders who care. And of course, all the organizers and the staff who have worked hard to plan this conference and the gala tonight. Now, it is my pleasure to bring to the stage NHMA President and CEO, Doctora Elena Rios, NHMA Chairwoman of the Board, Doctora Judy Flores, as well as Chairman of the NHHF Board, Dr. Mark Diaz. Un fuerte aplauso para ellos. Let's give them a great round of applause.
All right, so first of all, I'm Mark Diaz. I'm the chairman of the National Hispanic Health Foundation. For those students here, I would like them to be quiet because we're the ones that give you those scholarships, so I want you guys to be quiet for a few minutes. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for being here and supporting the National Hispanic Health Foundation, the National Hispanic Medical Association, and the National Hispanic Dental Association. I'd like to thank our sponsors, which include Centene, our platinum sponsor, Abbott, Abby, Lilly, National Hispanic Health Foundation, all of us, Amgen, CDC, Act Against AIDS, Pharma, and Pfizer, as well as Altamed, Care First, DaVita, Intercept, and Sanofi. These are all really strong sponsors of the National Hispanic Medical Association, this conference, and our activities that help promote Hispanic health throughout the country. Thank you all for sponsors.
Buenas noches. Muchas gracias. Somebody told me on the elevator that we shouldn't call this a gala anymore. We should call it a fiesta. I think it's a good term. I feel that I don't want to take up too much time. I do want to recognize the board, but I want to start by saying thank you all for being here. I don't think I've felt this good about a conference in a long time. There's a lot of energy here. There are a lot of people supporting each other, connecting with each other. The pillars of advocacy, networking, and leadership are here. And I do want to hope, and I hope that we continue this work. We have a lot of struggles ahead this year. We have to really focus on what we want to do to make sure that we have equity in our health care. And we're here for everyone. You're not alone. I feel more supported than I have in a long time. So I do want to take this opportunity to recognize the National Hispanic Medical Association Board. Board members, could you please stand up? You know who you are. Yeah. Okay. I would like to also recognize the board members of the National Hispanic Health Foundation. Dr. Diaz's group, could you please stand up? Conchita Paz, please. Thank you. We need your work. And the last but not least are the heads of our regions. Could you please stand up? You know who you are. I think I should say elementary. Yeah. The Committee of Young Residents Representatives, the Young Professionals, and the LMSA representatives to National Hispanic. Please stand up. You know you're here. Thank you so much. I look forward to working and learning from you. Muchísimas gracias.
So I just wanted to let everyone know the purpose of this annual gala dinner. The purpose is to honor leadership at all levels, and we're very happy this year to include the leadership of the Hispanic Dental Association. But the reason for our interest in leadership, and you will find as you apply for grants from foundations and government and corporate America, that there's very few leaders in our world of healthcare that understand that we need comprehensive funding for our organizations to be sustainable. And you can't have clinics and hospitals and medical groups and community-based organizations in our communities without having the support for leadership development. And what we are doing with this conference and with this dinner is showcasing the stories of leaders so that you can meet each other and understand their journeys and understand where you could go if you can see yourself in their shoes. Whether you're going to be in research or academics or private sector or public service, we all need mentors and leaders to aspire to. That's the purpose of tonight. So thank you very much for being here.
Muchas gracias. I was having a great conversation with someone on at my table right now, and you will hear from her in a few minutes. I have a national show called Política Ya every weekend, every Sunday. And all the subjects that we touch up on are health, can be one of them, gun violence, Republicans versus Democrats, immigration, economy, etc. Anything that has to do with the Latino community. And this really is a pivotal moment to really think about the issues that are happening in the nation. And why do I say this? Because our next speaker is someone that actually touched specifically the point of health, mental health, and gun violence. And it was very interesting because as I was speaking to her, it reminded me of so many debates that I've moderated talking about that specific problem. And it's not something that we don't think about just because it's not happening to you right now or because it's not right here that we have someone shooting. It really touches everyone if it comes to the actual situation of security that we face. So I think it's a great moment for me to introduce our keynote speaker. Her name is Brady. Her name is Kris Brown. She's the president of Brady, and she will speak to us. And she's a lifelong grassroots activist. She's a veteran of gun violence prevention. Also started her career on Capitol Hill, working for Representative Jim Moran, and advocating for a bill that will eventually become the groundbreaking Brady Act, requiring background checks on federally licensed gun sales. Muchas gracias por el trabajo. Thank you. And let's please give her a great round of applause. Let's hear from her.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for that introduction, and thank you all. We have a public health epidemic in this country of gun violence. Last year, on average, about 40,000 Americans lost their lives to gun violence. Over 100,000 more were shot and survived. In America, we have lost more people to gun violence than we have, from 1970 on, than we have in all of America's wars combined. Yesterday, I spent the day in California, and I was with 5 incredibly brave individuals, 4 of whom were students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and lost friends, close friends. And 1 was the mother of an amazing girl, Carmen Shentrup. The mother, April Shentrup, was there. Carmen lost her life at MSD. And sadly, as many of you know, this has become our new normal. But it's not normal in any other place or any other country but ours. And I'm here tonight because each one of you in the medical profession, and so many aspiring students soon to join the medical profession, have an incredibly important role to play in ensuring that we eradicate gun violence in this country. I'll get in a few minutes to exactly how I'd like you to help us do that. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about this amazing organization, Brady, that I have the distinct pleasure and privilege to lead. Brady was founded by Jim and Sarah Brady. Jim Brady was the press secretary to President Ronald Reagan, and he was shot in the line of duty. He and his wife, despite his debilitating injuries, spent 6 years and over 7 votes in Congress 25 years ago, almost to the day, had the Brady Law go into effect. And that law had a very, very simple premise. It said, before the sale of any gun by a federally licensed firearm dealer, there must be a background check to ensure that dangerous individuals don't have easy access to guns. I'm very proud to say that since the Brady Law went into effect, more than 3 million prohibited purchasers, convicted felons, domestic abusers have been stopped from purchasing guns. But there's a little bit of a problem, because when Jim and Sarah Brady got that law passed, the internet was not a thing. I remember that. Some of you in this room may not. And gun shows weren't serious business. They are today. And as a result, 1 in 5 guns sold today is sold with no background check at all. So Brady is working hard to fix that, and is working hard on a variety of other policies. I'll dwell on one other policy that we're working on, because it's very, very important for each of you to know what that is. In 14 states across the country, extreme risk laws have been enacted. Those laws allow family members and law enforcement to remove guns temporarily from at-risk individuals. In Congress right now, Brady is working very hard to ensure that there is federal funding to implement those laws. It's critically important because the laws get passed, but not everyone who is on the front lines of actually seeing the risk is knowledgeable about these laws. So we're working hard on that issue too. But we have an epidemic of gun violence, as I said. And one thing that is a major problem for our cause is that the CDC has been stopped for over 20 years from researching one issue. Guess what that is? Gun violence. Gun violence, despite the fact that it's a public health epidemic. And I was having a very interesting conversation with a gentleman who's here with us, and he said, well, what's really the impact of that on what you do? Because we all know what some of the solutions are. And let me just give you an example of the real problem of this. I know one piece of data about the impact of gun violence that is proven with data I've been able to obtain as the head of Brady. And that is the cost of the initial hospitalization associated with gun violence. I have data that says that I've been able to collect that costs about $35,000 for just 2 to 3 days of treatment. What I do not know are the long-term consequences and costs, physical and mental, associated with living as a victim of gun violence. I don't know the cost of growing up in communities riddled with gun violence, of the trauma of gun violence. And I want research dollars to help us figure out the best solutions, not just a solution, but the best solutions. And you all have an incredibly powerful voice to help lift up the urgent need for the CDC to make funding available. So please, as you're talking to members of Congress, make this issue a top priority and ask that the CDC provide funding. We have lost an entire generation of researchers because we have not adequately funded. So Brady is making a priority to seek $50 million in funding for this year alone. And I'm proud to say, because we have elected the first gun violence prevention majority in history in Congress, that, thank you. That we have a pledge that that amount of money will be included in the House appropriation. But we need pressure on the Senate to include that amount as well. Brady is also active in a number of other issues, though, that I want to talk to you about tonight. One of those issues is about the 300 million plus guns currently in circulation in this country. As a result of the proliferation of guns in this country, we have households all across America where children live in homes with loaded and unlocked guns. Let me tell you what our latest research says about that. That about 4.6 million children live in homes with loaded and unlocked guns. The consequence of that is that about 8 children and teens every single day in this country are shot and killed or injured with a gun in their own home. Just take that in. And the issue that I have, that our organization has taken on here is, these are preventable tragedies. They are entirely preventable tragedies. And so our organization, about 2 years ago, said, how can we actually make a difference on this issue? It's not always about who you're electing to Congress. It's not always about what you're doing in communities directly with your activism. It's also how you speak directly to individuals who have guns. And we looked at other successful social norm change campaigns. We looked at secondhand smoke. We looked at designated driver. And what we saw in those campaigns is that when you put a name to the issue, you can finally begin to address it. So we spent 2 years and a significant amount of money to come up with a campaign to address this issue. And what we called it, the unintentional injury with a gun in the home that happens, we named it Family Fire. And the campaign that we launched is the campaign to end family fire. Thank you. We launched this campaign with the Ad Council. The Ad Council is an organization that has existed in this country for about 30 years. They are responsible for every major public service announcement campaign that you've ever seen in this country, from Smokey the Bear on forward. And they worked with us to launch this campaign about 8 months ago. And I'm about to show you the ad that is the result of this campaign. But first, I want you to know that this ad has already been seen in this country 1.2 billion, that's with a B, billion times. And as a result of this ad being out in the marketplace on broadcast television, digitally, on billboards, all over this country, we've driven about 250 million people to our website, endfamilyfire.org, to find out about safe storage. And the Ad Council is helping us track, once people go there, once people see the ad, what do they do? And the answer is, they change their behavior. They start thinking about safe storage. They get nervous about having a loaded and unlocked gun in their home. And the results are statistically significant. We've seen a 25% increase in discussions about safe storage from the individuals exposed to this campaign. That is unprecedented. So I want to just take a minute to show you this ad and then reflect on what I would like all of you to do to help me really address the public health epidemic of gun violence in this country.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that.
Do I? I bet it looks like one.
Yeah, well, it's not. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister and Mom.
From what?
From bad guys, like on TV.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake? Their daddies probably thought they were safe too.
Where'd you hear that?
TV.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't believe everything we hear on TV.
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded?
It's not. I keep the
In
bullets.
the boots with the red laces, in the chest beside the bed? I haven't found them yet, but I'm sure I can. You always told me to be curious. Remember when I found my Christmas gift? I'm a good climber, you know.
No, that's not what I meant. Look, I need to be ready if someone breaks in.
What about when it's just me and Mom? You taught me to be brave. I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'll teach you how to handle a gun when you're old enough.
And what if I don't make it to old enough? I could get bullied and decide it's too much for me. It would be so easy with our gun.
Our gun? No, buddy. My gun.
But it is our gun. In our home. Happens all the time.
I'll make sure that doesn't happen. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Today, with seasonal temperatures, we should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies cloudiness tomorrow, sticky and humid with a high of 56. With the winds up to the east.
Thank you. Just to close and give a call to action to each of you. This ad took a bit of time to produce, and it is obviously our first foray. We would really like to expand this campaign in a variety of dimensions. We need so much different content out there using this term and educating people about the risk and dangers of guns in the home. We started with kids, and that is a part of the issue, but so are at-risk individuals in a home who are potentially at risk of suicide. So are older individuals who may be experiencing dementia. The way that we want to utilize this term literally is exponential. And if we follow the route that was taken with designated driver or secondhand smoke, we need to expand into as many different areas as possible to make this work. So how can you all help? Well, first of all, you have a very trusted relationship with your patients. Please raise with them the dangers and issues of loaded and unlocked guns in the home. And when you do use this term, educate them about this website that talks about the continuum of risk having loaded and unlocked guns in the home. Secondly, as I said before, please talk to your members of Congress and ask them to fund CDC research. This is critical for this cause to make a difference. The third, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, many of you may have, our board member, a trauma surgeon and a survivor of gun violence, Dr. Joseph Sakrin, started the This Is Our Lane movement. It was in response to the NRA. Many of you do know it. It was in response to the NRA saying that doctors had no right to talk about the issue of gun violence. And Dr. Sakrin immediately posted a picture of his ER room after treating a victim of gun violence and said, "Don't tell me to stay in my lane. This is our lane." And I would call to all of you, this is your lane. Please raise up your voice around this issue. And finally, please be part of our movement. We have made tremendous progress on this issue, and I can tell you our movement has never been more strong, but we have an incredible opportunity to continue this change so that we don't have to read these headlines every single day. So please go to our website, find out about what you can do in your communities, in your professional life, and to help change our nation and to reduce gun violence and end gun violence in this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. I'd like to say something very important right now, and I want to make sure that we all hear how crucial our speeches and the passion that Ms. Brown has for this kind of situation. I want you to know, Ms. Brown, that you are not alone. Everyone here in this room supports that to make sure that we keep a safer place with all of us. Aren't we all? Can we please give her another round of applause to Ms. Brown and the hard work that she's doing. Thank you all the waiters and the waitresses. Thank you for your hard work tonight. Yes, as well. It's not easy to carry all those plates. I used to be a waitress, and believe me, you build some muscle there. So thank you, guys. I'd like to welcome back to the stage Dr. Flores and Dr. Sam Arce. He's the past chairman of NHMA board to present the Special Academic Award. Un fuerte aplauso para ellos.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches otra vez. I have the distinct honor and privilege of sharing this evening an award and honor with the 4 deans of the schools of medicine in Puerto Rico. They were companions of ours last year during the worst time of the hurricane and the need for relief. And now they're back with us, and they're in partnership with us, and we see them as very much part of our family. So I'm going to start with, who is the one you would like to present your dean? Which dean would you like to present? ¿Cuál es el que tú quieres? ¿Cuál tú quieres?
Do we call them in order, or?
No, anything you want.
I'll present it to him.
And her? Okay. Okay, I would like to start with Agustín Rodríguez, el doctor Agustín Rodríguez González, the Dean of Medicine, Universidad de Puerto Rico, the UPR. Where are you? Please come up. Come. I would like to also bring up Dr. Olga Rodríguez de Arzola, the Dean of Medicine of the School of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Please come up.
And it definitely gives me a great privilege of presenting this award to the dean of the school that I graduated from in Puerto Rico, to José Ginel Rodríguez, which we'll call up. And we'll also we have an award for Irvin Maldonado-Rivera, the Associate Dean from the San Juan Bautista Medical School in Puerto Rico. Irving? And Olga.
Again, we are very, very happy to have you all here. It is part of our extended academic family now. I feel that we are more complete the further out we reach. So thank you so much for being here.
Un fuerte aplauso para los honrados del día de hoy. Thank you. It's great that we are teaching the next generation of doctors for Puerto Rico as well. Thank you all. Now I'd like to welcome back Dr. Rios and Dr. Mark Diaz to the stage. Thank you.
Every year we give an award to a government leader who's Latino, and we're very happy to award this year to Dr. Luis Padilla, the Associate Administrator for Health Workforce. He is the Director of the National Health Service Corps with the Health Resources and Services Administration of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And let me just say that before he came to the Bureau of Health Workforce, which is the organization within HRSA that meets the need for well-trained, well-distributed 21st century workforce by strengthening all the health workforce. He is responsible for helping to fund the training schools that are medical, dental, public health, and other schools, and he connects skilled professionals to the communities in need through the National Health Service Corps. He has an annual budget of over $1.5 billion, and he has responsibility for over 40 workforce programs. He was appointed in May 2016, and prior to joining the federal government, he was the health policy advisor to the CEO of a community health center, the Unity Healthcare in Washington, D.C. He's a board-certified family physician, a bachelor from University of California, yay, California, Irvine. And he's got a medical degree from Wake Forest School of Medicine and family medicine residency at Brown University. It gives me great pleasure to have Dr. Luis Padilla be given our Government of the Year award.
Okay, that's the most awkward walking up on stage I've had in quite some time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that kind introduction, Elena. Before I just give some brief remarks, I just want to thank Dr. Rios for tremendous leadership throughout the years. Not only has she blazed trails nationally, but on a personal level, and she didn't mention, it turned my own life in a new direction. As a participant in the National NHMA's Residency Leadership Program, I started on a path that continues today. Some 50 years ago, my mother came to the United States, leaving my sister and I in Guatemala, coming as many immigrants do. She wanted a better future for her family, not only in which they would benefit, but in which they would contribute positively, not only to survive, but to thrive. No solamente para sobrevivir, pero para prosperar. She wanted us to exceed her circumstances, to do more than what she was able to do, but do it with pride, hard work, and conviction. And to be honest with you, I didn't take advantage of all those opportunities that she and my father provided, or even at times appreciated them. But with their guidance and the guidance of others, I found my path. Helping others is a defining principle in my life, and one that I've tried to focus on every day with the challenges before us. That philosophy, and that philosophy of leadership, serving others, is an important principle. It led me to a medical career in underserved, to the specialty of underserved. It led me to the National Service Corps, and it ultimately led me to HRSA. And each day at HRSA, for those of you who care to know, I work with talented, dedicated professionals who are committed to the healthcare needs of rural and underserved areas. I am privileged to help lead a bureau and an agency, assist that agency, helping others by supporting education and training to the more than 40 programs that we have, by providing care to over 27 million Americans across the country through our 1,400 health centers, and by helping to end the HIV/AIDS epidemic and supporting mothers and children throughout the country. And in carrying out all these vital tasks, I'm honored to serve alongside other mission-driven colleagues of HRSA. So with that in mind, I want to thank the NHMA for this recognition, its commitment to service and leadership in support of the Hispanic medical and dental community. And once again, I thank you for helping me along my own, more fulfilling path. Thank you.
Thank you for those remarks. And I would appreciate, guys, if we keep it quiet during the speech. That would be very, very appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so our next awardee is receiving the award for Physician of the Year. But first, I'd like to ask, are there any catrachos in the audience? If you are a catracho, please stand up. Because otherwise, they're not going to be able to find each other. I know there's some out there. Okay, very good. Thank you. So, Dr. Robles is an assistant professor at the Department of Family and Social Medicine at Albert Einstein College of Medicine. People from Albert Einstein here? There you go. He grew up in a disadvantaged area. He attended Cornell University and graduated with a BS in biology. He earned a master's degree in biology from NYU. Any people from NYU? No, I guess not. Anyway, as a pre-health scholar, he taught science in New York City public schools and volunteered in a community health center. He's a graduate of Albert Einstein College of Medicine. He completed his residency training in family medicine at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx. Anybody from the Bronx? And his areas of interest include caring for marginalized populations, preventative care, nutrition, literacy, and mentoring, and advising students of traditionally underserved, underrepresented healthcare professions. Dr. Robles is the co-founder of the Bronx Community Health Leaders, a pre-health pipeline program to increase diversity in primary care. He's an attending physician in the Department of Family and Social Medicine at Montefiore and is an assistant professor of family medicine at Albert Einstein College of Medicine. In that capacity, he is involved in the education of medical students and residents. He's a preceptor at Einstein Echo student-run free clinic and an instructor for the Introduction to Clinical Medicine and the Healer's Art class. Dr. Robles, where are you? Come on up. Now, they asked me to do this introduction maybe because I do a lot of mentoring myself, and I was in UC Davis at the beginning of our student-run free clinic, which is called Clínica Tepati, and there may be some graduates of that clinic here tonight. Anyway, Dr. Robles, go ahead.
I'll get to say a few words. As you can see, for what would it take for a Honduran immigrant in this country to make it to a position where I actually can be an educator at a major institution? There's not a lot of us, but you know what I had when I came to this country was the support from amazing mentors and educators, and I just want to thank all of them at this moment who made it possible for me. I think that has been a powerful motivation to really make a difference right now. So we are at a point where we can actually make a difference and get so many of us into healthcare professions. So I appreciate the acknowledgement for the work that we do and look forward to continue to be part of this big family. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you for your leadership. I had an interview this week with someone that you will meet in a few minutes on the stage regarding the impact of dental health. And sometimes for all of you, work is work, the way it becomes for me, just work. You show up, I read the news, I gather more information, I try to stay accurate and up to date with the subjects, and it becomes like a machine. It's just like non-stop all the time. However, it is because of people like you, and I mean everyone sitting down at this event, that difference and change happens. Health is very important. Even when it comes to the smallest details, not having health in our lives, not being always aware how important that is, it's crucial. And I'm sure we all know that, but we forget about it. I would like now for you to watch a special video played from the Hispanic Dental Association.
30 years ago, a group of oral health professionals got together and they developed an organization that will fight for the oral health of the Hispanic community.
Because we believe that together we can move mountains.
You do not need to speak Spanish. You don't need to be a dentist or be on the dental team to actually be our member.
We have other communities that need our help, and they don't have to be like us for us to take care of them. One of our goals is not only to create a pathway into our healthcare process, but we have to start by educating our children.
We have developed this Special Olympics Special Smile program, where our student chapter and our professional chapter in Chicago deliver screenings for these individuals that need it the most. We want to expand in every single city that has a Special Olympics event, a program of Special Smiles. We are not a small organization. We have a presence in every single important meeting in this nation because we just want to be heard.
Camaraderie is important because human relations are what make us thrive. We're all about our members.
Ulysses and I were the first Hispanic advisors to basically launch an office for a company that's been around for 160 years.
I started teaching full-time at University of Illinois. I joined the HEA in 2004, so it has been 14 years. We go once a month to a dental clinic to provide free dental services that is actually provided by the students with the supervising faculty. That's what I feel most proud of. Seeing their successes, feel like we are doing a good job.
The HDA has student chapters all throughout the country, looking back at their communities and making a difference, helping them any way they can, even before they become dentists.
Today we have 29 student chapters, 24 professional chapters, and we will have a student chapter in every single dental school in this nation.
We cannot be heard if we don't all act as one. And unidos as Hispanics is the only way we can succeed. It is that capacity to give back to our people that makes us different.
I'd like to invite you guys to become a member
of the Hispanic Dental Association,
the HDA,
the Hispanic Dental Association.
Y ahora en español, la Asociación Dental Hispana. Un fuerte aplauso por este video, me encantó, hermoso. Can we please give a great round of applause to our next guest, Dr. Manuel Cordero. He is the Executive Director and CEO, y también Dr. Ricardo Mendoza, the President of the Hispanic Dental Association for the President's Award. Un fuerte aplauso para ellos, que se oiga.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be addressing this group. I have to thank Dr. Elena Rios for being so hospitable and welcoming us into this event. This is the second time that the Hispanic Dental Association shares this activity with you, and it is the first time that I have been involved in it, and I'm completely moved, not only by what Dr. Rio has been doing on her own for many years, developing leadership, because leadership is what is going to make a difference in this country. We are the ones that are going to set the tone of what the rest of the profession is going to do. Before I say some other words, I do want to say that we wouldn't be here without the support not only of our members, but our sponsors. The people that, like Dr. Rios mentioned, are so critical for the success of our activities. Those people that support leadership training and the organizations that are in fact responsible for leading healthcare in this country. I want to thank partners in crime with us, like Care Credit, like Colgate, like Sunstar, like even Guider, Butler, GUM, the American Association for Dental Research, AVIS's, the Pacific Dental Services, Crest, Oral-B, Procter & Gamble, laboratories like Oral Arts, and the Space Maintainers Laboratories. These are people that have been supporting us so that we can accomplish the service that we want to give our patients and our members. But it is thanks to leadership like Dr. Ricky Mendoza, our executive committee, and I would really appreciate if the executive committee can stand up and be recognized. The executive committee, please. And the rest of the board of the HDA, please stand up. Thank you. This is a board of volunteers that spend the most precious asset that they have, their time away from their families and their practices, to help something bigger than themselves, and that is the vision that we can make a difference in this country. We need to be able to share the richness of our culture, the talent of our members, in not only providing health care, but providing an example of what can be accomplished if we all work together. We are here in reality for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to serve our communities. The people that are serving us right now, the waiters, the waitresses, the bartenders, the hotel keepers. These are the people that make us who we are. If it were not for them, we wouldn't be the professionals that we are, because we're here to serve them. That's our main goal. In order for us to do that, we have to create leadership, like Dr. Rios mentioned before. And this leadership is what composes this kind of activities. This is our second year. I see big things happening. And I would like to share a concept that we have in the Hispanic Dental Association. And that is, we have one opportunity to make a difference in this country. And that opportunity only comes alive if we do it as one. If we act as Hispanics in this great country of ours, we will have a voice. If we continue silently being from Puerto Rico, like I am, like the Dominican Republic, from Mexico, from Guatemala, from Venezuela, we have to be proud of who we are, but please do me a favor. Let's be proud to be united Hispanics in order to make a difference for this country. It is always bigger than we are. It is always not the individual, but those that we serve that matter. Thank you for allowing me to address you, and I would like to introduce my president and great friend, Dr. Ricky Mendoza. Thank you.
Buenas noches. So a few days ago, in a reception, I asked you a question. If dental disease is easy to prevent, what is it as a health providers that we can't quite control it? What is it about dental disease that we can target it? It is certainly less expensive than trying to cure it. Treating the symptom is not treating the disease. We are trained to fix a cavity, but that's why this meeting is so important, because it is part of you guys, physicians, that are going to help us address the disease per se. So you guys have to refer patients. We actually have a fantastic couple of days of a strategic planning policy in the making. So that is what I'm proud of, and we're all going back home with enthusiastic ideas. How can we reach out to our colleague physicians and establish a good referral system based on cultural sensitivity? So I would like to, this association, as Manuel mentioned, of course, is possible thanks to our sponsors, but also our partners. We have partners, wonderful friends in the American Dental Association. The president was here yesterday with us. The National Dental Association, I would like to acknowledge you guys, Dr. Cheryl Lee and Dr. John Daniels. Please stand. The Society of American Indian Dentists, please, Dr. Winifred Booker, would you please stand? At a local level, every single state dental society we work with, it's also to be recognized. There is a person, our HDA director, Ms. Jen Blake, that I have to personally thank for putting us together tonight. Many people in this room, we wear several hats. And it is not easy. It's not easy to wear those hats, but we do it because we believe. We believe that it's important, and we need to rely on our support system. So I would like to thank, most of us have practices, so we also have business practitioners in our practices. I want to also thank somebody who has taken the workload in my office this year as a president, and last year as a president-elect, Dr. Rodney Vergotin. Please stand. It's simply not possible to sustain a family if we cannot, but we do it because we have passion, but we need to have somebody in our practices taking our workload. So thank you. And last but not least, the most important network of support is our families. I couldn't possibly be mentoring students in San Diego or in New York, and at the same time be in Chicago reading books to my kids. So that is impossible without the support of a family, so I'd like my family to stand. My partner and my other boy, Marcelo. And Mateo. Our families don't usually get recognized, but we couldn't possibly do this if they don't believe in our mission and what our vision is for the change of the future. And I would like to also recognize the Hispanic Dental Association Foundation that actually grants scholarships to our beautiful students that are passionate about what we are passionate about. So the HDA Foundation and those that have carved our path. You saw the video. It's a young organization, 30 years, but every single past president have carved a path that I'm working on right now. So I'd like the past presidents of the HDA and the HDA Foundation, please to stand. And just to finish, we don't go through this beautiful professional life in organized dentistry. If we are lucky enough, we make a lot of friends, but sometimes somebody touches your life and someone actually makes you better because that person believes in leadership and that person continues to be engaged because this is a path, and a year later, we just don't disappear, and this person hasn't. Is very passionate and somebody who I consider family, and that is why the HDA 2019 Presidential Award goes to Dr. Ana Monet.
Thank you so much. I am humbly honored by this recognition. And I have to tell you that when I entered the board of the Hispanic Dental Association, I didn't know what was in store for me. And I did have a lot of things inside me that I wanted to get out, like contribute to a bigger cause. And I definitely had an opportunity to do that with the Hispanic Dental Association, because there is so much to do and so much to give, and the cause is so big that it can take so many contributors. And the next thing that's given me is the fact that through HDA, I've been able to increase my family. And I don't know how it is for NHMA, but HDA is a tight, niche group of people that we help each other, we love each other. I made unbelievable friends. I have friends in Boston, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Puerto Rico, New Jersey, Chicago, and even my own state, Texas. You know, I have made a very good, tight-knit group of friends in San Antonio, in Austin, and even in my own hometown. I got to meet some of my friends that I already knew from Houston, but made a very special connection in Puerto Rico, and they're my support group now, my girlfriends from Houston, that they're here today supporting me. So I cannot have asked anymore, because it has blessed me more than I blessed. So when you give, you receive. And that's what I just want to share with you. And I'm just very happy that I got this recognition from my friend and family doctor, Ricardo Mendoza. And I'm very proud of being here tonight. And I think, because I made friends in HMA, NDA, Said. I say Said because I'm Spanish. Lo siento. I think it's said, but I just say Said. The Society of American Indian Dentists and the American Dental Association, and so many, and it just keeps on going on and on. But I have to tell you something, that as Hispanics and what we're doing here today, I think that we have something good going on. And I think that we need to stand together. We need to increase the numbers. We can be relevant and significant, and it can only depend on us. So let's make it happen. Thank you.
Un fuerte aplauso, por favor, para el doctor Ricardo Mendoza. We go way back. I'm not going to say how many years, because I'm only 25, but we met a long time in Chicago. Thank you, Ricardo. And I want to thank every single one of you for your leadership today. As I was saying before, these events, of course, they become a networking session and a fun time that closes a lot of work for every single one of you with this conference. But I want you to know from a perspective, someone that is in journalism, that what you're doing, it truly makes a difference. The people like Dr. Ricardo Mendoza, Doctora Elena Rios, they're really leaving things for the rest of us better. They truly are making our world better and health when it comes to that. And every single one of you, just for being here, you are also part of it. So I want to thank you. Now I'm going to be bringing to the stage Dr. Rios and Dr. Flores. They're going to introduce the final awards. And on my end, I want to thank you for having me as your MC tonight. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of the dinner.
I want to thank, let's give a big round of applause to our MC from Univision, Tsi-tsi-ki. You know, we have a lot of awards from a lot of leaders around the country. You can see all their names in our program. I'm going to invite them all to come up and stand right here in the front of the stage for a big picture. We are very proud to give awards to those leaders that we know will be the future leaders of America. The National Hispanic Medical Association Residents and Fellows of the Year. Can you come all up? Can you come up? Residents of the Year. Do they know who they are? They know who they are. You know who you are. We have the NHMA Young Physicians of the Year who are 5 years out of training from across the country. We have the presidents or leaders of the boards from the NHMA Council of Medical Societies, Hispanic medical societies that have been in the trenches across the country. Okay. And we have the Latino, or I should say Hispanic, Health Professional Association Leadership Network, made up of our partners, including the Hispanic Dental Association, the National Association of Hispanic Nurses, the Latino Caucus of the American Public Health Association, the Hispanic Employee Organization of the HHS Department, Latino mental health workers, Latino social workers, Latino dietitians. Can you please all come up? And the last group that we started giving awards to last year are Latino leaders of advocacy organizations who represent patient advocacy targeted to Latino patients across the country. Can you please all come up for one big picture?
Okay. So thank you very much, and congratulations to all our awardees. I do want to take this time, por favor, si se pueden sentar. I do want to take this time to recognize our leaders. Our National Hispanic Medical Association outgoing board members and regional leaders. I want to take particular time and thank people that have been here for over 8 years, dedicating time to the board, dedicating time to building our regions, and nurturing our work. So I want to start with Dr. Jeffrey Uribe, who's been, hello, bueno. Dr. Jeffrey Uribe, could you please come up here? You're going to get awarded for all the work you did with all those students and all those conferences and all those residents. Now I'm going next one. I'm also going to ask Dr. Jorge Puente to come up. Jorge Puente, hello, Jorge Puente. Jorge, Jorge, Jorge Puente. Jorge, Dr. Puente. Yes, we would like to honor you for all the work you've done on the board and all the work you've done with us. Please come up. Tell Vanessa, please. Jorge, up, up, up. Last but not least. And I'd like to honor the region leader who will remain our secretary on the executive board, Minerva Campos. So she's leaving as a region leader, but continuing to be our secretary. Dr. Minerva Campos, could you please come up? Up. Dr. Campos, up on the stage. Come with me. And last but not least is my colleague and predecessor as chair of NHMA, Dr. Sam Arce. So Sam, I know you're not leaving us. You're just moving into a different state and a different position. So thank you for everything. Thank you for helping me with the transition. And you stay in our hearts. There you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of you. Go take your picture. You get on the other side. I'll get on this side.
Hello. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? You know, when I packed this suit before I came, it did fit. So I don't know what they fed me this week, but it's not closing. I'd like to, this might be my last time. Hello? This may be my last time to use this microphone, so just in case, I'd like to do 3 things. One is to thank some people who have made it possible for me to serve. And that is my wife, and I have my daughter here, so would you thank them? Nancy? The second thing is that I am humbled that you chose me to do whatever I did for NHMA. I was instrumental in passing this rule that says that you can't serve more than 9 years straight. I didn't think it was going to apply to me. It is a pleasure to have served the NHMA in whatever capacity I served. I will not go away that quickly, and we are here to serve together. The third thing I'd like to say is something that I said at the dental meeting that I attended yesterday morning, and it's that together we form a team. It's not one being better or more than the other. So your role, whatever that might be, is essential so that together we can accomplish what we accomplish for our communities. Because it's not about me. It's not even about Dr. Rios. It's about all of us and the communities that we serve. I thank you so much for giving me the privilege and the honor of serving. Thank you so much.
So I want to thank all the leaders in the room. You are all leaders. This is our Leadership Gala. This is our 23rd Leadership Gala. We're so proud to have the Hispanic dentists here and all the organizations that are here. I want to especially thank all the organizers from both organizations. We have been working for almost a year on this conference, and it has been a pleasure to be able to see that it comes together. And I especially want to thank all of the NHMA staff that are here. Can you please all stand up? The NHMA staff. And interns. Okay, we have half of our staff are interns, but they all did a great job, and I want to thank all of them. I also want to just thank all the servers in the room. I think it was mentioned before. We can't do anything without our workers. And I want to say just one last thank you, and that is to anybody that has been able to work on the U.S.-Mexico border to help with the atrocities, the trauma that is happening to the Latino family in this country. We know what's going on. We see what's going on. We need to do something about it. And I have to tell you that one of our leaders, Dr. Manuel de la Rosa, was just in the newspaper. We have a new board member here from El Paso, Dr. Johansson, who's also working on the border. We have volunteer doctors and dentists and nurses that have been engaged. And whatever we can do to help the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services take care of the health care of all of our communities, we will do that. So let me just thank you all for coming. It's been a great conference. Tomorrow morning, the NHMA has a leadership breakfast for all of the leaders that are here to learn about social media and our campaigns and how we can continue to work together. And I just want to introduce our DJ. Are you ready? And we are going to have a dance. You're all welcome to stay. And we'd be happy to have some of you join us with the after party afterwards in room 408. So thank you very much.